This is a serious storm, and it could potentially have fatal consequences.
They're calling it Frankenstorm.
On October 29, 2012, Superstorm Sandy made landfall in the New York and New Jersey region, battering both states. It was the deadliest, most destructive weather event to hit our region in recent history. Trees fell, entire towns flooded. Houses collapsed or washed out to sea. 98-mile-an-hour winds drove record-breaking 14-foot storm surges over the tip of southern Manhattan. An estimated 2.5 million people lost power throughout the New York City metropolitan area alone. Most Port Authority facilities, its bridges, tunnels, ports, airports, and the PATH rail system are located along waterways that surround the New York-New Jersey harbor. These facilities bore the brunt of Sandy's high winds and monumental storm surge.
We had guards that were on the platforms, and with the rising waters, we had to get our special services in line to go out and save them. We also had a security guard over by Sea Yard that was strapped in a booth, and upon the arrival of the special services unit navigating through high waters, they found the guard standing on top of the guard booth when he got to his rescue.
Given the proximity of the Port Authority's 3 major airports to water, aviation staff braced for the worst at the airports. At LaGuardia Airport, Sandy sent 100 million gallons of seawater from Flushing Bay pouring onto the aeronautical area, shuttering flight operations for 3 days. The water inundated LaGuardia's airfield, as did dangerous debris left behind by the storm surge. Airlines canceled more than 10,000 flights, and key electrical systems and a pier suffered extensive damage.
In any emergency, whether it's a snowstorm or a hurricane for that matter, we always stress to our people that we have 3 major responsibilities, and that is to protect life, preserve property, and get back to business as soon as practical. In preparation for this storm, we did the common sense things, like made sure that generators and vehicles were ready to run, ready to operate, topped off with fuel.
Sandy wreaked a special kind of havoc on the Port Authority's PATH transit system. Water flooded miles of PATH's track and submerged 57 passenger cars. The damage was so severe it took a full week to restore limited PATH service, and full service to the entire system did not return until 119 days after the storm.
We had the iconoclastic picture in Hoboken where the elevator shaft was compromised. So the water from street level poured into our station. Someone likened it to a waterfall. We had an event in Hoboken where we had 6 feet of water in one part of Hoboken that the water just wouldn't go away. The pumps just didn't work. We had somebody go in that tunnel to assess that pump.
Nobody else could do any work until the water was out of the tunnels. So the main objective was to get that pump running. So the electricians, the signal guys, the track guys, all the other work could get done. They could dry the tunnels out and get in there and do their work. I made a decision that I was going to go under the water and turn the pump on.
First leg of the service came back in 8 days. Probably faster than anybody thought that it would be humanly possible, but people worked tirelessly. There were 12, 15, 20-hour days, and we got the system back up and running. Our goal to bring PATH back to life.
While crews worked around the clock to restore PATH service, workers at the Holland Tunnel were pumping out millions of gallons of water and finding creative fixes to return at least limited service between New Jersey and Manhattan in the days following Superstorm Sandy.
The most crucial part of the recovery was getting the water out of the lower duct. We were able to get enough water out of there during the day to allow a limited bus operation, because at the time the PATH system was closed, shut down, and the bus terminal was overwhelmed. So it was critical that the Holland Tunnel reopen as soon as we could. Maintenance's attitude was get in, pump and dry, and they pumped 24 hours a day for the full 7 days until we were fully opened.
In Lower Manhattan, Sandy required the repair or replacement of more than 1,600 pieces of essential equipment at the World Trade Center construction site. The storm surge brought 125 million gallons of water pouring onto the site.
Within a matter of minutes, the water rose from our ankles to our chest, and we realized it was unprecedented. And what exemplified that is when the cars started to float by us. So we immediately retreated back to the site and proceeded to try and prevent any water from coming in. But as everybody knows, that was an event that just couldn't be stopped. We kept it simple. We went to the 3 C's: clear, clean, and construct. And with the support of the Port Authority leadership, we were able to get back to construction in a matter of a few days, with less than a week.
No one could have imagined the destruction of what we now know was the worst extreme weather disaster to directly impact public transportation in this country. We estimate the loss, repair, and recovery to the Port Authority to be over $2 billion, not including the cost for resiliency measures. We have spent more than $365 million to date. It is a long road ahead, but the Port Authority is committed, under the leadership of New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, to build back better and stronger than before.